Hello, how is the audio? I have no idea how is the audio. Can you hear me? Just say something in the chat. Can you hear me? Just I'm waiting for more viewers, and if you can hear me, then just send us, write something in the chat. I think the audio will be clear, but just let me know. Okay, great. So how are you? How is everyone? I think I'm doing live stream after almost a year because recently I was very busy with my PhD and it's a long time that I did a live stream. So how is everyone doing? If you guys have any question, you can ask. This is basically just I'm seeing you after a long time, so that's why you can ask me anything about study abroad, as you can read in the banner below. Ganesh Sai Kumar is asking, how are you? I'm very good. Now I'm still in the Netherlands looking for accommodation in Germany. But from 1st of June, if you have seen my videos, then you will know that I already started a postdoc. Till now, everything looks good. So it's great. I'm still in the Netherlands. If you have seen my previous live streams, then you will know that if you see the background, like this is the house where I have been living. So I'm still in the Netherlands, not in Germany yet. But I got a sublet house in Germany. I'll make a video later just for the tax purposes and everything. And yeah, soon I will start looking for a better accommodation. And once I get it, then I will make a detailed video like how you stay in another country and work in another country, and what happens, what are the legalities, what happens with the tax and everything. And soon I will, maybe in 2-3 months, I will try to shift to Germany permanently because it's difficult to always travel from here and go. It's in the Ruhr University of Bochum. Piyush is asking where you got the postdoc, and Berens is asking how long will be your postdoc. So it's actually in the Ruhr University Bochum, Germany. You can Google it. And I have now affiliation with two places, so Ruhr University and also with the KAIS. That's like a research center. That's just for the contract purposes. They need to make it, because if you make a contract from the university in Germany, it's a bit slow for the internationals, at least what I heard in the university I am in. So yeah, postdoc is I think 2 years. My contract, Berens was asking how long will be your postdoc. My contract is 2 years. So yeah, like 2024 May, I think. End of May, because it started in 1st of June. So the contract is for 2 years. That's 2024 end of May. By the way, if you have any questions, any of you can ask me, and you can always, the link that you can see on the top, you can always go there if you have any questions. If you want to talk one-on-one, you can always check the Calendly link. You can book an appointment there. You can see my calendar. Otherwise, you can ask it now in the chat. If you want to talk face to face, then use Calendly. But if you want to ask any questions now, I'll be there for like an hour or half an hour. Just put in your questions in the chat and I will try to answer if I can. Satish is asking, can you share your interview experience? So, which interview, Satish? Is it like the postdoc? Do you mean the postdoc that I got recently? I will be waiting for Satish's response. And in the meantime, Piyush is asking, which field are you doing postdoc? So you can check my CV. I made a CV video. You can find it, my CV. And my postdoc is actually in the field of educational technology and AI, artificial intelligence. So the main idea is basically to continue what I built in my PhD, like to use the tool that I built to do some kind of conversation analysis of the content of conversation when people work in a group setting, and then try to analyze it to gain better insights about the quality of collaboration. Like in any group setting, whenever you work in a group, my purpose is to analyze your conversations, like what you actually speak, and then do some kind of, as now people call it, like the black magic AI and whatever you call it, but we'll use some base level algorithms to just find some measures to detect the quality of collaboration and maybe help the group moderator or the teacher to gain better insights about the group. So broadly you can put it in educational technology, learning analytics. There are many terms, and if you check my CV you will get an idea based on my publications. So mostly in education domain using technology, some bit of computer science, data analytics, something like that. So Berens is asking, currently I'm thinking of transition from physics to data science. I think I already answered this question of you, if I remember correctly, in some chat in the comments. What are the prerequisites for a master's in data science for a physics major? So the thing is, as I said before, like obviously you can transition, but you need to show some kind of connection. Like for example, I'll tell you my friend, if you have seen the video where one of my friend, he is now in Eindhoven, he got PhD here, he was in IIT Kanpur in applied physics. So he also now he is looking for a job in machine learning and coding. So during his PhD, he tried to make his profile in such a way that he could build his profile in such a way that he could show like what is his skill. Like I mean, he did some kind of simulation to do coding, which helped him to improve his coding, and although he was in physics, he could transition to coding now while he's applying for R&D or jobs in industry. So like that, you need to build your profile in some way, show some connection if you want to jump from physics to data science, and also explain that clearly in your motivation letter, like how and why you are trying to transition. So Raja IITN is saying, I got a PhD offer from University of St Andrews, Scotland. Wow, congratulations, Raja. I completed my BTech and MTech in engineering, but now in my PhD I am going to work in physics department. In the future I am going to get any problem. So what kind of engineering? I mean, nowadays in India at least, engineering is of different types. So what kind of engineering did you do your BTech and MTech? And I don't see any problem. Like, I mean, if you see the system here, by the way, guys, please like the video so that it helps, the algorithm helps to show it to different people, and also many people can know that I'm doing this stream and maybe they can join now. So the idea is, Raja, is that I don't see any problem, if I understand your question correctly, is that it's just like you need to, I mean, I don't know what, okay, you said engineering in electronics, okay. I mean, there are many transitions. So if you see my case, although I'm still using tech, but my master's was in computer science, and now it's a very interdisciplinary field. So normally if you see what people do while study abroad here, it's more practical and more applied. So when you rise higher the ladder, like you go for a PhD or maybe change companies, hire in jobs, then you always work with different technology, different streams, and your field of work becomes very varied. So you can never constrain it to one of the streams. So it's always good if you are making a transition and you try to get some diverse skills. So I don't see any problem. Only thing is you need to make your message clear. Like later, if you choose a postdoc or go for R&D industry job after PhD, depending on what you want, you need to show how your like electronics and then physics connects and makes like a nice story. So the storytelling is the key, I would say, even for writing a conference paper, journal paper, PhD, anything. Like it's always the storytelling is the key. So Enric is asking, whenever I try to search for a tuition fee for masters in Netherlands, it says that 10K for 1 year, according to many websites. So my question, is it normal in NL that everybody pays full tuition for the course? I don't know which course you saw. If I will tell you the price now, it's very scary, because now the price is around 18K for any engineering course, only the tuition fees. And normally you need to check the website. Normally the way it works here is like for the first year you pay the whole tuition fee, and from second year onwards you always have an installment option where you can pay monthly installments. But first year for international student, as far as I know, you have to check the website to verify of the university, you need to pay the whole yearly fee. So you need to plan accordingly. And by the way, who are joining late, please like the video so that it shows to many people and also helps your friends. And one more thing I want to say, if you want to speak instead of writing here like in the live chat, if you want to speak with me one-to-one, then you can book an appointment in the Calendly link on the top of this page. You can just copy that link and you can book an appointment. It's normally every Saturday when I'm a bit free. Okay, let's go to, so Enric questions answered. If you get a scholarship, you might get a waiver. There is no guarantee that, I mean, normally number of scholarships in Netherlands is not that high. So, but if you get it, obviously you'll get some waiver. Madhur is saying, please say something about structural engineering in Europe and its future. So, I don't know what the future of structural engineering or civil holds. I only can say one thing. You can see one of my civil engineering video on my channel. I made with Gokul, I think, if I remember the name. If you check the interview series that I had on Masters in Civil, you can check Gokul's video. So he was in civil. I don't think he was in structural, but there's a lot of scope, at least whatever I know about the ranking of the university in the, like the ranking is very high for civil, I think in top 2 or top 3, at least Delft University, TU Delft has a very high ranking. And there are a lot of companies that hire, like you can get as a consultant. This is based on what I've heard, because I'm not from civil or structural background. But you can get a lot of consultancy related job to consult companies after masters, and also maybe in the field work. I mean, I have heard there's a lot of scope because the civil is very famous here, and the reputation, the quality and the companies is really good. But I don't know exactly what's the future. Rizadul Rahman is saying, sir, after BSc Physics, what should do? What should you do? I mean, it depends on you, like what is your aim. It's not mandatory that everyone should come to study abroad. There are many factors you need to consider, as you might have seen in my videos. I mentioned, if you search on YouTube like study abroad space SambitPhD, you will find few videos. So I mentioned that there are many things that people consider, like ranking. I think majorly finances. When you're coming from India, mostly people first consider the finances. So if you don't have like the necessary finances that is needed to get to a good university or something, at least for the time being, then maybe after BSc also there are a lot of options in India in, I don't know, like research or I mean, it's not that well paid, but still you can go for some industry. But it depends like what is your actual interest. I cannot say whether you go for masters or immediately job. That really depends on you. Sunny Pal is saying, want to work in Netherlands, France or Germany in vegetable breeding or hybrid vegetable research, did masters in vegetable science agriculture. I don't know where you did your masters, but you can check Wageningen University in the Netherlands. It's really, really famous. So, so if you see Wageningen University, they are really ranked well also in agriculture, and you can just go and have a look Wageningen agriculture if you want to have some opportunity. But you already did masters, so I don't know. But why I'm saying is because Wageningen campus has a lot of facilities related to agriculture, and so I was talking about Wageningen, and I see Khulpua is asking, is Wageningen a good university? Just Google it, Wageningen in agriculture research, agriculture course. It is ranked in 1 or 2 in the world. So it's the best university that you can get. So I don't think there is any doubt that Wageningen is good or not in agriculture. So yeah, just have a look, because in Netherlands also there are a lot of different options like what you want to do. Like there are many MNCs also. I don't know about France and Germany also, not that much idea, but salary wise I would say even if cost of living is high in Netherlands and Germany will pay you much better than if you work in France or do research in France. So Raja is asking, sir, in PhD will get time for part-time job? Uh, I don't know, Raja. If I remember, you got PhD in Scotland, I think. So I don't know the system in Scotland, but in the Netherlands and most European countries, we have that. You don't need to really. You get paid a monthly salary. So PhD is like a job. So you don't really need a part-time job because you are already getting paid for the job. But maybe in Scotland you are a student, then you need to find some time for this. I don't know how it works in Scotland. I think in UK, as far as I know, you are a student, you get stipend, you don't get that much money like grant as you get in the salary as you get here in the Netherlands or Germany. So maybe you might need it, but always it's a challenge. Like as far as I know, like people in US also have this problem. While PhD, finding time and also at the same time managing your research is not that easy. Like, I mean, obviously you can find some ways, but it's not easy. It might cause pressure when you start writing articles for journals or conferences. So Chinmay Mandke is asking, I'll be pursuing my master's in data science from RWTH Aachen. How is the job market in Europe? I'll have 1.5 experience in software domain. I mean, in software and IT, yeah, it has a lot of scope in here. So before answer Chinmay, HT is asking, how was your weekend? I hope it was all right. Yeah, it was great. I mean, normally on weekends, every weekend, if you follow me in Instagram, you'll know the ID is here. I try to travel different places, but this weekend I thought to take a rest because I have to write a book chapter. It's basically an invitation from a university in Australia, Monash University, to write a book chapter for a special issue to kind of summarize my PhD. So I thought this week to keep writing that. So I think that's why I thought like writing books or writing anything is boring if you write it continuously. So just to make my time interesting, I thought why not do a live stream. After a long time I did all this setup, which I lost touch because last year I was doing this. But anyways, so Chinmay, if you see any IT job, the scope is really good. I mean, I cannot elaborate, but if you have seen my videos, you will know like LinkedIn is the universal tool which will help you a lot when you find jobs and also do internships. And in Germany there is something called Xing. Xing helps a lot apart from LinkedIn to find job, internships and all these things. Entire week was something like Monday I went to Germany for my postdoc. Wednesday I came back. Thursday and Friday I work from home, and today you are seeing me. And Monday I was also supposed to view a house. If you have not followed the live stream from the beginning, then you might not know. So I am now looking for a private accommodation in Germany because I want to shift to Germany. Every week traveling and going up and down 150 kilometers is not that easy. Yeah, so and also if you are feeling left out by just typing in the chat, then you can always click on this Calendly link. I mean, you cannot click, you can book using the Calendly link, and then one-to-one appointment if you want to talk with me. Otherwise, obviously you can write in the chat, it's up to you. So today is the first time, I think, because I'm doing a live stream after a long time. I've never mentioned to anyone. Maybe let me take a picture and post on Instagram. Maybe few more people might come. Let me post an Instagram story. I don't know if people are going to join, but I'll just take a picture and because I don't get any more questions yet, so if I get, I will. So Abhijit is trying to create some funny moments here in the live stream, and he already knows. You will see an interview with Abhijit soon. He's doing PhD in Sweden. He's a very close friend of mine, and he's saying, do you need to pay in Calendly even if we have your phone number? Obviously, if you have my phone number, you don't need to, but if you don't have, then you need to pay, so that I also get motivated to guide you. Otherwise there will be like 100 requests and I cannot. Yeah, Chinmay is asking, how should a vegetarian guy survive in Europe? So how should a vegetarian guy, I mean, nowadays you will be surprised. I will make like a day in my life, how I spend my day, waking up at 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Normally on Monday evening I go, or Tuesday I go to Germany. And in Netherlands and Germany nowadays, this vegetarian and vegan is become like a cult. So there are a lot of options nowadays. Lot of even foreign people like German people or Dutch people are turning vegan. I think vegan has become like a new fashion on top of vegetarian. Vegetarian is like normal, but vegan is like a big thing. So yeah, the bottom line is that you will get a lot of vegetarian and vegan options nowadays in most European countries. That's now become like a new fashion. Let me take a picture and post it on Instagram so that people might join. By the way, who are joining late, just like the video so that it helps to show to others, and also to like increase the visibility. HT is asking, simple question, would it be possible for me to get entry in German university? I had 4 backlogs, 7.1 CGPA. I am from a mechanical engineering background and have 1.5 year job experience. Okay. So one thing I can tell you, like I cannot comment exactly on the profile. You have shared so many things. One thing I can tell you is that just wait. Let me just HT, please wait few minutes. I'll just post it in Instagram in 1 minute, and then I will complete answer to your question. Even though I might not satisfy you, give a satisfied answer, but still I'll try. So yeah, I'm trying to find the link so that I can share. People can directly click on the link and join me on. Please have some patience for 1 minute. Okay, the story is posted. So yeah, let me get back to the question. So HT, the thing is that one thing I know, like when you apply for study abroad, you don't have something like, so when you apply for study abroad, you don't have something like oh, HT has already said sorry for the big question. No, it's fine. Like, I mean, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, like, most of the transcripts when you apply, as far as I know, they don't mention specifically your backlog if you, like, qualify, like, if you pass it in some attempt. So, in that sense, if it is not specifically mentioned and you pass it, then I don't see any issue in then I don't see any issue in when you apply, because your CGPA, I have had 4 backlogs and 7.1 CGPA. I'm not sure about the CGPA. Like, if you want to go to a good German university, as far as I know, 7.58. I mean, it really depends on that specific university, but in general, I'm just saying 7.58 is like whatever I've heard from people. So, just go to the, I think, DAD website and you can have a look. I don't know if you know, you might already know, like dad.de, and you can have a look in the, and you also have work experience. I don't know how much work experience helps when you apply for masters. I'm hoping that you are applying for masters, because that part is not clear. But anyways, I hope that you got some answers for the question, but I cannot answer properly, but that's what I can say. So if your transcript doesn't say specifically about backlogs, then it should not be a problem. But CGPA wise, it might be tricky depending on where you apply. So Chinmay asked, see, Abhijit has already cleared the answer, because you will soon see Abhijit live stream here, because he's a very nice, like, he will share his experience in Sweden. So he's now doing PhD in Sweden, and he has already mentioned that they don't care about backlogs, which I was trying to say in a gentle way. And the time you took during bachelor's, they care more about your knowledge. It's a very, very nicely he has framed the whole thing. Thank you, Abhijit. Okay, so Chinmay is asking a very relevant question. You might not see in this chat window. Do you see it? Maybe I try to scroll. So Chinmay is asking, what is the impact of war on recession and let me see in this window. Possibility of recession, big question, impact of war. That's a very relevant question. I will just touch upon that. Is that, like, I mean, the only visible impact that I can see, there are many impacts. I'm not an expert, political expert or economical expert, but I follow the current news. So only thing that I can see is like the prices of what I buy in Netherlands and also in Germany, because these two countries nowadays I'm going to and fro and going to the supermarket. So the housing prices are already increasing. They were increasing, and after the war, February and March, it increased a lot. Like, you will also see a real increase, like 5% or 10% in the rent also. Apart from that, the food prices in the Netherlands, I've seen, like, if I go to the supermarket in just 1 month, some things have become like 1.2 times, 1.5 times the price. So yeah, there is some inflation, there is some increase in price. So if you come as a student, that also you need to take into account. That's the honest thing that I can say. Like, when you plan your finances, you need to probably consider inflation, and maybe also take that uprise, like maybe after a year the prices might increase this much percentage, and just to have like a worst case financial extrapolation or calculation, so that you don't run into issue if you are really close on your finance calculation when you are joining here. Okay, so yeah, so HT, I think Abhijit's answer might have helped you, and I have also tried to say whatever I know. But thank you for the clarification. So yeah, I hope that Chinmay's question was answered, and it might have also helped others to get an idea. So the thing I say always is, like, if you get something relevant in Germany, then I would recommend you to go to Germany, even if you have language problem, because your tuition fee is almost free, and so you spend less. So if you have financial issue, then I would recommend you to try to go to Germany instead of coming to the Netherlands. Unless you get a scholarship. How common do people speak English? Mituraj Sin is asking, how common do people speak English in Netherlands? So Netherlands will be like a cakewalk. Like, even, I mean, normally you won't expect, I mean, almost 99% people speak English on paper. And also I have seen, like, maybe if you go to some remote village and there are very old people, like 60 plus, 70 plus, or maybe 75 plus, they might not speak English, but that is very rare. Like, even some old people I know, they speak really fluent English, and apart from that, everyone else speaks English. And I mean, language in Netherlands, you won't feel any difference. But trust me, like I have said this many times, like I'm just staying in the south of the Netherlands, if you see the map. And maybe let me show you where I stay. Okay, so I'm staying in the south of the Netherlands. And if you see, I live very close to the German and Dutch border. So, sorry, German and Belgium border. So if you see, I live in Valkenburg, which is like in the extreme south of the Netherlands. And then you have your Germany and Belgium on both sides. So the German border is only 20 kilometers and the Belgium border is also like very near. Here I stay in Valkenburg. Here is Germany, Aachen, which is only 20 kilometers, and this side is Belgium. So if you just go to Aachen, you will feel so much language problem. So Germany, it's always like there is a huge language gap and many people don't speak it. You will get a lot of problem. But if you are in the Netherlands, if you are anywhere in the Netherlands, the whole Netherlands, you will never get any language issue. It's really nice that in the Netherlands you don't have any language issue. Yeah, see again, Abhijit, you should be, now my internet here is not good. Maybe I'll get a fast internet in Germany. You should have been with me showing your face in the live stream, then you would have helped me a lot instead of me speaking. Thank you so much. So Netherlands is ranked number 1 English speaking country and Sweden is second. So Sweden is where Abhijit is. So Abhijit is in the second most English speaking country with not English as the first language. Madhur is saying, after completing PhD, what are the requirements to join university there as a lecturer, assistant professor? Is there such opportunity? Yeah, so if you do a PhD here, it will be much easier to make this transition. But if you are doing a PhD in India, like from abroad, and try to come here as a to be in academia, then it might be difficult. But the requirement, there is no requirement. Ideally, if you see ideal path, people have like 2 years or 4 years postdoc, a post PhD research experience. They work on something or maybe teach side by side. They also teach or supervise some people. By the way, who are joining late, you can check my Calendly link if you want to book an appointment and talk with me one-to-one instead of writing in the chat. Otherwise, feel free to write in the chat. So yeah, Madhur was saying after completing. Yeah, so the thing is, like, if you do a PhD here, it is much easier to get a postdoc. Or maybe if you do a good PhD with good publications even in India, probably you need to do some years of postdoc here and then get an assistant professor. Normally they don't call it lecturer, so the scale is like assistant professor, and in Germany they call assistant professor as junior professor, but both are on the same level, just like assistant professor in India. And probably after 2-4 years you get assistant professor, but that's not a permanent position. So what I'm telling you is like an ideal scenario. There can be many exceptions to this. So if you want to stay in academia and get a permanent position, then you need to really perform well in getting a grant. So you need to somehow get a national grant or a European grant, some kind of project grant with some partners, write a grant proposal, which is a very big thing if you want to stay in academia, and that will seal a permanent position for you in a specific place, and then you can supervise PhD students. I mean, obviously you can supervise as a postdoc, but not that they are your students, but you are supervising someone else's students. So yeah, so the idea is like, if you are doing PhD from India, better try to get a good postdoc, get some experience, and then transition to assistant professor. Otherwise, finish a PhD here and things will be much easier if you want to stay here. Naveen M is saying, hi Sambit, I thought of applying for masters in data science. How much there is possibility of landing in jobs after graduation? So I think I already answered. Someone asked in data science in the beginning of the stream. So if you do something in data science, data analytics, IT, software, there are a lot of different job opportunities in industry, startups. You will find a variety of jobs in variety of domains, because nowadays everywhere you need coding, data science, data analytics. So I won't go into the details, but yeah, you'll find a lot of opportunities. So HT I already answered. Okay. Uh, he also said that sadly my mark cards mention my backlog as an F for the semester and shows them as passing grade on the next semester. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Normally they don't do, as far as I know, but that's very unfortunate. Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark speak very good English. Yeah, that's absolutely right, HT. That uh, the Nordic countries, Netherlands, and they speak really good English. Sanipal is saying, sir, is it possible to pursue PhD in agriculture the gap of 7 8 years? Yeah, definitely possible. So if you see the people here, by the way, who are joining late, you can like the stream if so that it shows to more people. That's how the algorithm works, and also you can help out your friends. Share the stream. Is it possible to pursue PhD with a gap of 7 8 years? Definitely possible. If you see people here do late PhD, most of the people here do PhD late in their life, and after they get some experience, I mean, don't consider it as a gap, because we come from India and that's the mindset, like we think like that's a gap, then how do I mention it? So there can be gap, as you call gap, I would call it like a break or another experience before I apply for PhD, just to make it sound more positive. And you try to explain that in a motivation letter, so that will help you uh, if you want to do PhD after masters. But here there are a lot of people who have work experience and then they do a PhD, so that should not be a problem. Only thing is sometimes they might ask in the interview, but that you make clear in the cover letter or the motivation letter. Oh, I missed Shalin question. I think for some reason I missed Shalin question. I'm very sorry. Shalin was asking, "Hello, sir. How much university took time to give an offer letter?" Actually, my supervisor has agreed to supervise my PhD and gives me offer letter also, but university takes more time to give offer letter. So this really varies from country to country. So I can tell you about two countries which I know, actually three, because Norway also applied a lot for PhD and postdoc, and they are very slow. Same with Germany. Sometimes maybe if you go to Max Planck or something, some reputed big universities or programs, they are faster, but mostly in Germany it's very slow. The moment you get an offer letter, I mean, not I mean, they just tell you that you get to admit. From that time it can be like 3 months or 6 months to get the contract. But if you get a actually I'm talking about PhD, I don't know what you were asking about. So you are asking about how much university took offer letter in Ireland, and do you have idea about Tyndall National Institute? I don't have idea about the institute, but Ireland, I know some of my friends who are working in MDocs, they went to Ireland, and as far as I've heard, it's much faster as compared to Germany and all. In Netherlands also it's very fast, but it varies from country to country. So my question, how much university took time to give offer letter in Ireland? I don't know the exact time in Ireland, but I have heard like within a month or 2 months they get it. They directly go from their job. For PhD, I have no idea about Ireland. Sorry. So Anna is saying, hope things are going great. I love your life progress updates. Thank you, Anna, for following the videos and my life progress in the videos. Thank you. Mituraj Sen is saying, can you please tell me how much part-time salary can I expect per hour? So if you say part-time, I always say like it's during masters, because here PhD is like a job. So masters salary can vary a lot. I think the minimum salary now, if I'm not wrong, is 13 or 14 euros per hour. So they cannot pay you less than that, and it can vary between 13 to 17 or 18 euros as a master student if you do part-time job. But there can be some variation. Just have a look, just Google it, because it changes every year, like what is the base salary they need to pay, and how much people can expect, like average salary. Did I miss anyone's question? I'll just go up a bit so that I don't miss people's question. Maybe 10-15 minutes more and then I stop. good to see that today people are asking some relevant question. At least I feel satisfied, because sometimes people just repeat the same things. Maybe they are not here now, who knows. I guess I answered everyone's question. Okay. So Hari Prasad, I remember that you were posting comments in the beginning of my channel, and you posted a lot of comments. Good to see you again after a long time. Thank you for joining. Hi Sambit, good to see you again. Can you please tell something about the postdoc culture? So just to make it clear, like a disclaimer, that I started as a postdoc from 1st of June in Germany, but obviously I can tell you how the postdoc culture is here, because I have worked with many postdocs during my PhD here in the Netherlands. So it's more or less same in Netherlands and Germany. So by culture can mean many different things, but I'll tell you just small thing is that if you want to be in academia, based on my experience, it will be good to switch immediately after your PhD and not further do a postdoc and then go for like industry. But if you want to be in academia, then do a postdoc and then try to write a grant proposal. So postdoc culture is no one is going to tell you anything. Many places postdoc is more like you grow yourself, and at the same time you also contribute something for that person or that organization, the university. But it's more about how you map, how you sketch your academic, your growth profile. And it's very important in the first 2 or 3 years, however long your postdoc is, or if you do a second postdoc, try to write a grant proposal as soon as possible, or try to have that in that frame of mind, even if it takes 1 or 2 years to finally submit it somewhere, because it's very competitive. And especially to survive in academia here, I'll make a new video which says like the dark side of academia. So I'll try to make that video, because I have learned a lot of dark side of academia. It's not that academia is always like very happy, cheerful and everything. So in that I will try to explain you about the dark side. But the thing is like grant proposal, that's the thing. HT, no need to say sorry. Like, you feel free to ask any type of question you want. It's my pleasure to try to answer it. Thank you for your videos. They are very helpful. Would it be alright to ask you make more videos on European immigration except the field of jeeping through studies or PhD? Okay. I don't know if I understand you correctly, but I mean, mostly as you know from the videos, like if you come to Netherlands for a job, then your employer, unless in some jobs you need to get a sponsor, but most of the time, and if you get a PhD, then 100% of the time they apply for your visa. So there is no question about that. But if you have something specific, then just mention. I will try to find answers to that. I don't know what you mean by European immigration, because this is like a very broad term, and some countries have some different criteria. But only thing is, if you get one Schengen permit in one country, then you can easily travel across all over Schengen. Aviskar Bhosle is saying students should have any experience before going for masters. I won't say that student, I don't know, like I mean, based on my experience, when you get a scholarship, I don't think if you have work experience that helps a lot, especially for masters. I mean, you can have, that's a good thing to add to your CV. Maybe it will help you when you apply for job after masters. Then if you have work experience, you might get maybe a bit higher, depending on higher scale of salary, depending on how much experience you have. Not like 1 or 1.5 years, they are basically no experience. But if you have some experience, then maybe that can help. No worries, HT. Thank you for being around and entertaining us. No problem. Oh, Chinmay is saying, had seen your video about that podcast you had posted on YouTube. Thanks for that content. Did I post any podcast? I don't know which podcast you mean, but if it helped you in some way, then I'm very happy. Naveen. So Aditya Ranjan is saying, what are the other ways to fund a PhD if professor is interested to supervise me but doesn't have funding? Normally, it doesn't happen like that here. But as I have said before, you can always cold email professor. By cold email, I mean try to send an email. And yeah, Naveen, I'm answering your question. Don't worry. So you can always cold email a professor. Let me first answer Aditya's question and then I'll go to Naveen's question. So cold email a professor and then you can try to see. So the thing is, like, if you cold email a professor, they have in their mind, if they are really interested to hire you, they are always applying for proposals together with many people, and once they get a proposal, then they can really easily get a how do you say, like, okay, Spotify podcast about study in Europe. Oh, okay, I get it, which podcast you mean. Okay, thank you so much that it helped. I feel very happy. So yeah, so you can always cold email a professor, but normally it's difficult if they don't have funding, but they will keep in their mind that you are interested, and if they are really interested, then maybe in 3-4 months, once they have a funding, they will definitely acquire you, or maybe they will find some alternative, like to collaborate with someone and get some funding if they really want to proceed doing research in that field. So the thing is, like, there is no definite path in this. So try to email them and be in their radar, and you never know, someday, like within a few months or few days, if you're lucky, they might contact you if they are really interested in your profile. So it's always a good idea, apart from applying formally in academic transfer, which I mentioned for the Netherlands, you can always have a look there. So let me go to Naveen's question. Maybe Chinmay, please link it here, because I also don't know. Now I have to search and I'm not sure. I'm managing 2 screens here. So if you can, please link it here. It might help others. So Naveen is saying, I was in little confusion in choosing masters in English speaking European countries. What would you suggest as per your experience? I had Netherlands and Sweden in my mind. Yeah, definitely. So if you have seen the chat before, what Abhijit was saying, he is doing PhD in Sweden. And we also discussed this a lot. So if you go to any Nordic countries or if you go to Netherlands, the English is really good. So there is no issue of doing a master's in these European countries where English is not the first language, but almost 99% people speak English. There is no issue. Try to apply and see what happens. So Atma Kuri Nikhilesh is saying Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Nice to see you again, brother, from Odisha. Aditya Ranjan, I already answered. Piyush Patnaik, make a video how to write research proposal and research grant. Please provide a ready-made template. It's a humble request. Yeah, that's in my mind. So I was thinking to do some kind of course, like you nowadays do some course in different websites. I was trying to do a master class. I forgot the particular term which people nowadays use a lot, like a hot term. I want to do a master class in this, maybe with a small group, and also talk face to face on Zoom. That's in my plan. But I had made a video on writing a PhD research proposal. I don't know how you didn't find it. You can search on YouTube like PhD research proposal space SambitPhD. Just type that on YouTube and search. You will find my video, and that will help you. But about grant proposal, even I am a very newbie in grant proposal. So maybe soon I'll make it. But regarding research proposal, although I have that short video, I will try to make a detailed, like how you construct it and what is and in that video, if I'm not wrong, in the PhD research proposal, I posted a template also. So please check it out. Somyajit Panda is saying, Vishnu, please be patient. I will reach your question now. Somyajit, what is the best country in Europe for masters in AI and ML? I mean, like that, there is no best country, Somyajit. I understand from where you are coming from. What is the best country in Europe for masters in AI and ML? I mean, there are many. Like, if you see, it depends on what kind of work you want to do. Like, AI and ML are like the buzzwords, but they can be used in biological domain, some gene analysis, or in education, what I am doing, like improving to gain insights about the education, teaching and learning processes. So yeah, it can be anything. And by the way, who are typing in the chat and hoping to talk with me face to face, you can always book an appointment in the Calendly if you want to talk face to face. But otherwise, feel free to write here and I can try to answer till I am here, maybe 5 or 10 minutes more. So again, Atmakuri was saying that I did not vlog this Rath Yatra. Actually, this Rath Yatra, because I'm traveling across, if you know, I started a postdoc. So I'm traveling from Germany to Netherlands. So kind of busy. I could not be available on the Rath Yatra day. Otherwise, I could have gone there and did a vlog in Odia, which is my language. So yeah, I could not do it. Very sorry. That's why I posted to make the memory fresh the old Rath Yatra video. Whose question I was answering? Somyajit. Okay, so you can have a look EPFL, or maybe like in Switzerland, or maybe Delft, TU Eindhoven in Netherlands. So it depends on where you are applying the AI and ML. So from that only you need to judge. There is no such thing as best. Like some places AI and ML is best for maybe gene analysis. Some places it is best for education. Like EPFL, they are doing really great research in my field. Of using educational technology and artificial intelligence in education, which I am doing in my postdoc now. So yeah, it depends. By the way, who joined now, you can like the video so that it shows. That's how the algorithm works and it shows to more people. Piyush Patnaik is finished. Chinmay is again saying, as a computer science student, what is your experience and problems you feel as a student? That's a very broad question that you asked. I don't know if I can cover it here. I made, I think, a general video about problems of students, not a CS student. A video was there. If you search problems of student Netherlands SambitPhD, you will find it. I think, I mean, it depends like how you fit it. Only thing broadly, if I say one point, in short, it's more like computer science is very vast. It can have a lot of interdisciplinary overlaps. So if you do your research or your interest goes in a specific side stream, at the end, if you apply for a PhD or a job, you need to somehow match that, the link between this and that. So that sometimes becomes challenging if you don't have a clear vision or a clear picture in front of you. So HT is again asking how gaps in my career can be explained in my SOP for applying in masters. I had taken a break due to some personal reasons. Any tips on how to frame a paragraph? HT. So the perfect way would be to know your personal exact case, because I don't think you can write that here in the chat. Maybe book an appointment using Calendly. But if I don't know your case in general, if I try to answer this, then I would say like it's very difficult to say like without knowing the context, like why you had gap, because if I know the context, then it will be easier for me to say something about it. But thing is, like, normally never tell a lie, and what people do is like you try to omit some of the things, ignore some of the things which are not that important, like which even if not highlighted doesn't make any negative for your profile or your application, and you try to only highlight some of the positive point. That's how people do it. That will be a very generic answer. It might not help you, but better to know what is your context to comment further. Ryan Krasta is saying, can one complete master in 2 years in Germany? Saw many people's profile on LinkedIn 3-4. Yeah, I mean, here also people do more than 2 years, but the difference is that, at least what I know, in Netherlands you pay a lot. So if you do more than 2 years, you are almost bankrupt, I would say. At least if you come from an Indian upper middle class, also it's difficult. But if you go to Germany, then yeah, like, because you get paid, like tuition fees is almost free everywhere. It's paid by the government. So that's the reason why people try to do intensive. I know one of my friend, if you have seen his video, Atul Anand, if you have seen, we made a series about Germany, one of the videos which got like 85k or 90k views. So if you see his video, now I think he's in his third year of masters. What happens is your education becomes free, you also get paid in internships, and those internship experiences help you when you apply for a job later if you want to do a job after masters. So people sometimes also knowingly delay it because there is no visa issue, no financial pressure. So it's up to you, like if you like to finish it earlier, or if you want to take your time, travel across places, do 2-3 internships, and maybe later it might increase your chances of job. So it's like a very subjective personal preference what you wish to do. Vishnu Mahesh, could you please answer my question? I already answered your question. Also, I'm coming to Utrecht this August for masters. I'm just curious about my school and course. Utrecht University, check the campus tour video. Just type on YouTube Utrecht campus tour. I think you'll see my video in first rank. If not, then type Utrecht campus tour space SambitPhD. Anything that you want to search, mostly I've covered, at least in the Netherlands. Type that topic or that phrase or word, and then give a space, and then type SambitPhD. You will always see my videos if I have made videos on that topic. And Utrecht is a very nice place. There are many people there. Soon I will be also making a video about you are most welcome, Ran. Soon I will be making a video with a PhD student from Utrecht University. I think he's doing PhD in chemistry, chemical, something related to chemistry. I'm not an expert. Okay, so I will try to wrap up the stream in 1 or 2 minutes. How is the Indian community? Naveen Name is asking, how is the Indian community in the Netherlands? Indian community is really good everywhere you go. I mean, not like UK or US, not that big, but yeah, there are always Indian stores, Indian people, Indian festivals. Different communities come together, do their own local events. It's always very nice. Yeah, definitely, Chinmay. So Somyajit was asking how many years. I already answered that in the beginning of the stream. It's a 2-year contract from 1st June till 1st June 2022 till 31st May 2024. Somyajit was saying how good are Southwestern Europe for masters. I asked this because it resonates more with Indian climate. Yeah, I mean, climate wise, I agree it's very good, and now it is very hot also. I mean, just like India, 40 plus, and there are a lot of forest fires. If you follow the news in France, some parts of France now, Spain, Portugal, there are some forest fires. But university wise, masters wise, not bad. I mean, Western Europe is good, but still I would say someone to go to maybe Switzerland, or Switzerland is very expensive for masters unless you get a scholarship, or Germany, Netherlands, or these Nordic countries. Because if you don't change country, and if you want to do something immediately in that country, or maybe the neighbor during masters, coming from Spain, I mean, you can, but yeah, like I would prefer to go in these places. So Chinmay was saying, after completing masters, can I work in Netherlands? I mean, our company is willing to. Yeah, they are definitely willing to hire people, and whether you are going from Netherlands to Germany or Germany to Netherlands, that's not a big issue. Yeah, but Somyajit, you have to see like what is your preference. So if you have some health problem, or if you really want to not live in a cold climate, then obviously you can go there. But yeah. Vishnu is saying, okay, this is the last question probably. Vishnu is saying, sorry, somebody did not read my actual question. I think I read. Which was your actual question? Oh, okay, sorry. I missed your question. I'm very sorry. How are the job opportunities after doing management course from TIS Business School, Tilburg? I think you mean Tilburg. Probably, I don't know. What is the reputation of TISAS Business School in the Netherlands? If it is Tilburg, which I think it is Tilburg, I don't know how. I mean, I cannot say it's good or bad, but I have heard like in terms of business school, Tilburg, Rotterdam, Erasmus Rotterdam, and the one that I made video, SPJIMR with the Nine Road University in Amsterdam. They are kind of they are kind of good universities. Yeah, affiliated with Tilburg. Yeah, I mean, Tilburg has good law and business programs, so I don't know the rank, but I know they do a lot of good field work. At least people get jobs. So yeah, in general, I have heard positive things, but I don't know specifically about TIS Business School. But you can always do one thing, like if you want to do something in your field, go to LinkedIn, check some alumni, and maybe talk with them directly, because they can give you a really better picture as compared to what I will say to you. Somyajit is asking, how often do you reply to FB and LinkedIn DMs? Normally, nowadays, I don't, I think. Very rarely, unless that is something relevant. If it is like a generic question which you can get in Google, I don't reply. And even if I reply, it's very slow, like maybe a month or something. That's why I say if it is something urgent and it doesn't cost you that much money, you can always book an appointment in Calendly, but otherwise, wait there and I will try to answer. So HT is saying this is the final one before I quit. I mean, I stopped the stream. It's already an hour. Are there any job opportunities for Indians in Netherlands after masters? Oh, sorry. Aditya was saying, are there any job opportunities for Indians after masters from India from IT? Yeah, I mean, you will find job opportunities, but it's more like, it's not like company are fascinated or not fascinated by ITs. ITs obviously has a like a good reputation, but if you want to get job here, it's better to do something here. But if you get a degree in India, even if it is a master's degree from really great IIT, it might still be difficult to get a job immediately. It might take some time. So better to have something here. So Majlan Ahmad is saying love from Bangladesh. Thank you so much for watching from Bangladesh. It's very great to see. Somyajit, I don't trust in any counseling partners, but you can have look some online options. Nowadays there are many online options who serve in telephone, but I would say for masters you don't need to go to a counseling partner. You can easily apply yourself. Why would you go to a counseling partner for study in Europe? So Naveen name is saying, I think you had included only PayPal. It would be great if you include more type of payment. So in the Calendly, unfortunately, it doesn't work. I mean, I did not find the option to include, at least because I give my residence as Netherlands to other option. If you have problem to pay, you can always message me, DM me privately. And normally what I do is I send my, just like a alternative, my Indian account, and you can pay there. If you cannot pay using PayPal. The equivalent in rupees, just DM me anywhere. I would say DM in LinkedIn, because Instagram, it is very complicated. The chats that I get, they vanish suddenly and I cannot read everything. Where was that? Yeah, HT was saying, can I reschedule my calendar appointment? The thing is that you can, but then basically if you see my calendar, it's like every Saturday, because that's when I'm free now in this time, or maybe a bit before. So better if you reschedule, it will be again 1 week after. I mean, you can basically, that same link will work. I will try to do that as an email or a DM with you, but I would prefer not to. So Naveen, just message me, because I cannot integrate it with Calendly. Message me and then I can send you my Indian account if you want to. Yeah, so I hope this helped you a lot. If you came now, you can like the video, share it with your friends. It's already an hour, so I would stop the stream now. I hope it helped you in some way. After a long time I did the stream, and don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I will see you soon. I will try to stop the stream, but I'm seeing another. Where's the salary more in European countries? Babu Vignesh. I don't know how is the geologist opportunity. Salary more. Normally, as an employer, as a researcher, you'll get more salary. In terms of cost to savings ratio, I would say expense to savings ratio, I would say Switzerland, Netherlands, Nordic country, Germany, they're really good. Much better than France and even Spain. Yeah, so thank you, Anna. Thank you, HT, everyone who has been joining for a long time. Thank you. Have a great Sunday. All of you have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. And see you soon, maybe in some video whenever I get time, or maybe do another live stream next weekend. See you again. Till then, bye bye. Ciao. Bye.